without notice, John, YDN, will I need a
the receive signals on these things. That's with preamp on though. Let's have a look at this thing. What are we looking at?
And I heard today,
HF transceiver IC780. Now, if you've never heard of a 780, it's because it's the 781 Japanese version. Absolutely no difference. They still get their, full output. They, full 200 watts output. I was going to say 100 then. I thought, hang on, 200 watts output, of course. And now I'm running the preamp. That's probably more realistic as you put that preamp in, yeah. These are a very old radio, 1980s, and I didn't actually get this speaker with it, but I had one, and I thought, I'd have to put that next to it. And I'm not running the most iconic microphone. I've probably got an old SM8 that would suit it very nice, so we'll probably chuck that on there. But this was the first generation of when we started to see these pan display, so we could basically see a signal, and they were definitely interesting, to say the least, as far as trying to, like today's displays that we see over on these fellas here, obviously a lot more accurate, but there's something very nice about these things that... Let's have a listen here. Quite a bit happening on 40 metres, as you can see from that graph at the moment. And obviously, as you see those peaks there, the dots that form, that is actually your pan display, and then you can hold it if you wanted to. I don't think you can move and hold. No, it doesn't move the display as you go. That would have been a nice feature to be able to then move it to the spot where the peak was. Now I'm on TS at the moment, which the TS is the function to make the thing go very fast when so as I'm coming down now, I've got a lot more ability to come down nice and slow, right when we don't want to. Very, very nice old radio. This, obviously with the 7850 over there, that's the latest version of this, really. This was their flagship in the 1980s, and obviously the 7850 over there is the flagship in the probably about 2016, I think they came out, somewhere around there. I'm trying to remember now. I've had that for a few years. It's getting old. Anyway. Some good signals there, honestly. Really nice. That VFO is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Turn that up a bit so you can hear it. A little bit of noise when you're... now, let's see. Where's their noise blanker on this thing again? Noise blanker? Yeah. That noise there is coming from my solar system, I think. I've been trying to blame conditions lately, but I don't think so. I think we're getting a bit off our solar, because that cabling runs right past where the solar system's... I've just got a bad feeling. Anyway, we're putting all new heliaxes in soon, so hopefully we can get rid of some of that generated noise. Let's have a look down the band. We can see by the scope here that there's a bit happening. Beautiful signals. Come down a bit further. Now what's that strong one down there? Probably some FT8. It might be the 093, guys. It is too. And once again, let's hit that preamp. Yeah, yep. A little bit scratchy on the preamp control there. Needs a bit of a hit. Here's something that's kind of interesting. Have a look at this. Now I'm running a fair bit of 30 dB of attenuation, but I'm hearing the voice and just the voice. Let's take 10 dB off. And that's Mike VK3ZMD. And I'm hearing him beautifully. Now you watch when I add 20 dB. Stronger, but I've got an output up with the noise. Preamp.
and cheers to all.
They do have a wide noise banker as well, but
in the last 20 minutes or so since I last had a chat.
yeah, we'll give that controller spray. It's just a little bit crackly.
That's good. Alrighty, cheers to all, and we'll catch you all next week. Have a good weekend. No footy on down here, not the men's footy anyway. The ladies' football's starting up tonight. And
Let's see, what does Mike peak with a preamp? Probably 10 over, yeah. Actually, it's not too far off that.
Alright, cheers Tom, and we'll catch
Peaking
everyone
without the
next week.
preamp, he's peaking 10, so when I...
Yes, VK2RK.4.
Oh yeah, with the preamp he's 20 over, sorry.
We'll catch you next week. Cheers.
Just conditions changing a bit there. And for those of you who don't know what net this is the ARK Candos net, VK2 ARK Candos net. And depending on the day, there's different people that run that, but you've got two Toms, and you've also got Ron that runs it out of South Australia on every afternoon. I'm trying to think, it was 4 o'clock or 4:30. I think 4 o'clock it starts in winter. Check me out on that. I've got some filters on these things, narrow and wide, which is really all we're going to be able to see here. Obviously, your passband filtering. Sharpen it up. Not quite the digital filters we're used to on some of the new stuff, of course. Notch filter, which you can just bring in. You'll hear the notch sliding. That's the notch sliding around. And sometimes you can notch out the noise just nicely, so that's a useful feature. Well done. Alright, well, let's get off to a frequency we can call our own. I think 7100. No, someone's on there. Let's just want somewhere we can just use for a second. Just check, just want to see how the transmitter's on this thing. Anybody using the frequency, please? VK3 Charlie Mike. 12345, VK3CM. Now, these do have a tuner in them. So you can tune and... try and remember now. There it is. No, it's not. It's alright. Try to remember how to activate the tuner on, and did we have to do an AM carry with these things? I'm trying to remember now. Hate to tell you this, but I think I might have to read the manual. I'm trying to remember, because you had tuner on, but I thought they had a tune button, but no. Oh, that's terrible. Hang on, pull the manual out. I've forgotten. Actually, so let's try that again. I didn't pull the manual out. I just tried something. I went to tuner. I went 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3, and I saw the meter go straight over. It tuned it, and obviously getting our 150 watts to 200 watts out of these. I think they're about 150. I think 200's a push. 1 2 3 4 5 VK3 Charlie Mike testing. Let's have a look here. Now to prove that, we'll go to SWR 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, no, that's working. Okay, so it must have been just go to tuner and then give it a bit of RF. So let's go down the band a bit further where it's going to struggle. So theoretically, this should be quite out of tune here, because I know where this antenna's more up around 7180. Let's have a look. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3. Yeah, it's all tuned. Wow. Huh. Okay, so that's interesting. I just thought I would have needed a carrier, but that's tuning beautifully. What if I do something ridiculous, like I want to make this antenna work on 490? Let's go to 482 or something, 483, just to get off 490. So I'm going to try and make this tune, and I'm going to go to SWR this time. So we're actually looking at the SWR and what it does. Should be doing it with a carrier. You know what? Let's do it with a carrier. Makes more sense, doesn't it, really? Right, so let's see. It'll come up with a fairly high SWR, and it's got to try and tune it. Jeez, it loves it. I would have thought this would be miles out on this. All right, let's try something else like... Oh, yes. Actually, that's... yes, we're on the horizontal dipole. That's... now, that will tune to 28 pretty easily. Sorry. So let's make it really work. Let's go to 14 megs. Put on AM. Right, this should battle. There we go. Look at that. Bang. Wow. That's fast. These old tuners and these things, that is good. Let's try something ridiculous. 10 megs. Crazy good. Then we go to our power output. Let's go to FM for that. Oh, which I've got that set pretty low, sorry. Yeah, that makes sense. Hang on. Probably need to go to sideband actually because I've got the carrier set down. Sideband. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Full power out. The tuner's tuning an antenna that really is probably not the best for it, but that tuner's better than I thought. I'm glad I had to play with that. I have not played with one for... we had these in the shop at Jensen's back in the day, and they were one expensive big box. Let's just say, on apprenticeship wages would take a long time. I'm trying to remember, I think they were about $9,000 Australian back in the day in the 781, but it's a long time ago. I remember looking at and dreaming and thinking, I think at the time I had a 130 SE or something, or maybe I had the 530 SP by then, but yeah, something like that. And that was more my budget back in the day. Well, this thing's getting full power out. Look, I probably should grab the LP500 over and just run it through that. Actually, let's do that. Let's have a little look at its waveforms. Okay, always a bit of fun just bring out the LP500 and just have a look at how she's going. Let's just see what we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that SWR looks a bit high there, so let's put that tuner on and let's try that again. That SWR definitely looks high. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, now, not sure why that's reading so high, because tuner on. Let's put a bit of carrier there. Let me check my connections here. That doesn't look very good. Well, the things you discover. My dipole, my horizontal dipole, which I've been a bit spoiled. This auto tuner, the HF Auto, tunes it every time. So every time I need to tune up, bang, it just goes click and it does it. So what we're seeing, just to explain here, let's say we're doing an AM carrier here on 7180 and there's no one on there, so I've checked that. SWR at the radio, the tuner's doing it perfectly, but look at the SWR on that antenna. So what I've been doing is basically tuning that antenna, but it's way off. And I'll show you. Let me show you. I can't really show you the band at the moment. Hang on. If I go down without, I don't want to interrupt someone else's conversation. But let's go right down towards the other end of the band. Have a look at this SWR. It's 3 points. It's terrible. It's terrible. So I need to whip that tower down and have a look at that. Whether we've got some water in there or something's going on, but that actually was quite good. Oh, sorry. It's being on AM there, probably didn't hear them, but... So it used to be resonant about 7180, but it is definitely 2.6 there at the moment. Makes me wonder whether it's almost gone shorter. It almost looks like it needs some length. Oh, gee. I'm just going to go up high part of the band. Yeah, okay, so that's what's happened. Look at that. Something needs adjusting. I can't go much higher because I'll be outside the band. But 1.62 at 2, so nearly 7.3 megs. Okay, so anyway, we've learned something today. And for the sake of doing a power measurement, that's probably the closest, that's the best frequency we've got to have a bit of a play, because we've got a resonant, or either that or putting a dummy load in. But let's go back to sideband and let's just have a little look at this thing. Don't you love these things? They're beautiful, beautiful meters. Let me just show you through. So you've got your bar graphs. You also can do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Oh, look at that. Very nice. A little bit, maybe slightly flat topping there. Maybe I could turn the drive down. Oh, no, not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. VK3 Charlie mic testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, it looks great. Sorry, it's just thrown me. But what's interesting is, let's have a look at what we're doing on 28 megs. I'm sort of curious. I thought we had a resonance spot, but maybe that was the actual antenna itself being tuned here. But of course, what we show here in SWR, which is 1 to 1, after the tuner is 1.8. So it's actually not too bad on 28 megs. Not bad for a 40 meter antenna that's supposed to be on 7. This should be tuned around 7.1, 7.15, somewhere around there. It's a lot too high at the moment, so we'll knock that down. And by the sounds of it, you know, if it's coming down as we go up the frequency, we need to lengthen the antenna a bit to just get that back to where it should be. And it's probably a good 50 mil or something on the elements to do that. So anyway, we can drop that down. Anyway, that's giving you a bit of an idea. Just let's have a look at the AM. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. Typical AM sort of carrier there. That's looking good. Sideband back on 10 meters. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. Little bit of flat topping there. We're driving it pretty hard though. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. And once again, you can monitor your power on the side there. 1 2, lowest and highest. 1 2 3. They said. So they're getting up towards 200 watts. I take that back before because I said maybe 150 tops, but. I've got the carrier down on this, haven't I? Yeah, I'll have to have a look at where they do their carrier again. Oh, there's a brightness I was thinking before. Yeah, you can sort of turn these down a bit sometimes. You have them a little bit too bright. I had it a little bit too bright, to be honest. And yes, we've got a lot of gain happening at the moment, just the way I've got this set up. And do they have a speech board in these? No, I think it was an accessory. Yeah. Might even have one. If I have, I'll pop it in. Anyway, all right, well, very, very nice old radio. Certainly, we'll go back to somewhere where there's a bit of noise. And maybe go back to where... But very, very telling that that situation with the... I'm glad I've done this video because I need to whip that antenna down and just adjust it up. Make sure there's no water or anything or something's going on there, but nothing we can't sort out. Good to always find out these things. If you're ever thinking about getting one of the LP 500s, they are absolutely brilliant. Really good way to monitor your signal, keep an eye on things. And they're just a whole, like, if you wanted a toy in the shack and you had no interest in the technical side of it, look at that. Isn't that brilliant? There you go. All right. Okay, well, that's the IC781, 780, whichever you want to call it. This actually is the documents. Check this out. I mean, really. Original manuals with all the circuits, etc. in there. And then there's just a whole lot of reprints, etc. And look, I do the same thing. Often it's a great idea to do reprints of your manuals because when you're chasing a fault, you know, I get in there with highlighter pen and lots of things, and you don't want to do that to your original manuals. And but yeah, look, this is brilliant. Actually, even got all the printed over, yeah, all the big ones in there as well. So that's brilliant. No, that's so good. So and of course, the only negative being that your Japanese might have to be a little bit up to speed in the original manual, but there's obviously reprints of the 781 that are in this pile here that you can read quite easily. I still like having the original Japanese manual. I think it's really cool. Luckily, they didn't put the writing on the front screen or in Japanese, then we'd be in big trouble. But yeah, now, I've had those filters in that whole time too. That's interesting. What does it sound like?
CQ. Victor Kilo 2, Quebec Alpha. Calling CQ. CQ.
There's Jim.
Victor Kilo 2, Quebec Alpha.
Good signal, Jim. And that's no preamp either. Good stuff. I won't go back to Jim at the moment. I don't like having short conversations with him, quick tests and that. But I love having a bit of a chat. But wow, signals are strong. Now I've got to knock that noise blanket level back a bit there. You can hear that. Hear that distortion. Knock your noise blanket level back. It's just that he's getting so strong. It's just overloading the noise blanket circuit. You don't necessarily have to turn it off, but you do need to turn it back a bit. Oh goodness. What a great radio. I mean, what does that make it? I think they were 80s, somewhere in the 80s. So really it's probably 45 years old minimum, I'm thinking, you know, if it's mid-80s. Yeah, look, sorry, 40 to 45 years, somewhere between there. But I just can't remember what year. I think about 81, I saw one in the shop at Jensen's. See, even my noise blanket level, I'm still just a bit too much there. So much more to show you on this radio, but we'd be here all night. But this is a quick 20-minute look at, you know, the very quick look at an IC780. They look great with the speaker. This was the flagship lineup that, you know, was, you know, I don't have the original box. It got burnt. It was a big mistake. My mate would have sent it down to me, by the way. Look, long story, but the box went with something else to transport something else. That person didn't have any room for it, so they burnt it, and it's gone. And so I was willing to. Actually, it went from Gippsland up to the Gold Coast, and didn't make its life any further than the Gold Coast. Oh, you know what it is. You just love original box if you can get them. If anybody's got an IC781 box they're not using with, you know, the foams or a 780 box, yeah, love to buy it off you. Just to have the box for it. But look, you know what? It's not the end of the earth when you haven't got a box. I'm just being really anal. But anyway, all right. 73s, guys. Thanks for having a look at this really nostalgic 780. Absolutely love them. Just one last look. Just history. So absolutely love it. So if you ever get a chance to get one, just check this fella's working okay. By the way, there is a mod. There's another screen replacement you can do for them. So you're not dead in the water if you do a screen. But boy, I love them like this. I like just exactly what I'm looking at. 73s, guys, all the best. Thanks very much for persisting for 21 minutes, nearly 22 minutes on this. If you made it this far, you're amazing. Legends, absolutely. Cheers, guys. All the best. VK3 Charlie Mike, Tangambalanga, Northeast Victoria, Australia. All the best.